Hello, we're back. We made a bunch of weirdos and now we're going to introduce them to you and each other. And then we're going to figure out some details of things like cults and workshops and infirmaries and wolves of the maelstrom. And then we're going to do some hacks. So, who would like to introduce their character first?
I can do it. I'm ready.
All right.
So I guess I should have asked you how you wanted that done. But I'll wing it.
Yeah.
My character is a savvy head. Her name is Granny Gucci.
Ooh.
And she is probably 50. She's a woman with, where's my description here? Vintage wear plus tech. So she wears like older style of clothes, definitely from like the 80s, what we would consider from like the 80s, plus tech being her glowing shawl knit out of fiber optics. She has a plain face, but dancing eyes and a hunched body. And she's a fairly happy-go-lucky kind of a person. She really enjoys making things. But she's also very wise. I've taken the moves often or right and bone feel. So when you come to me for advice and I give you advice, if you follow my advice, you get +1 on any rolls that you make doing it, and I get to mark experience. So we should do that all the time. And bone feel lets me roll at the beginning of the session, and then me or the MC can spend a hold in order to already be there with the proper tools and knowledge, with or without any clear explanation as to why. If I fail the roll, the MC can spend that a hold to instead have me already be there, but somehow pinned, caught, or trapped. So I think that's going to be fun and interesting. She's a little bit weird. She lives alone in the junkyard with a child thing. And and yeah, so she's like she gets joy out of building things. And so building things is her main deal, which is why she winds up working with the Hocus and supplying their cult with whatever, as well as other people in this apocalypse.
So where is your workshop in relation to the subdivision, and where's the subdivision in relation to the city?
I think that it's like city center, subdivision, workshop.
With the workshop being out towards the west.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. Could you read your stat line for us?
Of course. So I have 0 cool, -1 hard, -1 hot, +2 sharp, +2 weird.
Grandma Gucci, 0 chill.
0 chill.
0.
Indeed.
Nice. I'm just filling out our lovely threat map here. Okay. So your resources are the junkyard and the workshop, and the car. You said Honda Accord?
Yes. And for my workspace, I have chosen a junkyard full of raw materials, machine tools, and booby traps.
Snap. Your workshop is booby trapped.
Mm-hmm.
What
Why?
could possibly go wrong?
What are you afraid of?
I feel like I didn't set all of those traps. Like, I don't know if you're okay with that, Andrew, if your character has...
Oh, yeah. I was going to offer that I've helped.
Yeah. Like, I think what I'm afraid of is whatever is after Andrew's character. Like whatever is coming after them scares me shitless. But I still want to protect them. So
Okay, so you're guarding the
Grandma's
child.
real nice. I like Grandma.
Grandma's real Gucci.
You know she's Gucci.
Grandma
Yeah.
keeps it 100 all day, every day.
all day, every day.
It is known.
Look at her wrist. Damn. Look at her neck. Damn.
Oh my gosh, Grandma Gucci. All right, Granny Gucci. Sounds good. Where did you learn how to do your tech thing? Do you know? Do you even remember?
I don't think I was never taught. I just started doing it and it works.
A lifetime of trial and error.
Yeah. I'm as good as I am now because I've been doing it for 40 years.
So you just know things, and you seem to be a trusted figure in the community. Insofar as there is a community.
And then so far as you can
Nihilistic
trust anybody.
Cultist. Yeah, Granny Gucci keeps a Gucci all day, every day. Who wants to go next?
Well, I can go next. It sounds like
All right.
as good a segue as any. So my character's name is Oler, Oler. And they are an ambiguously gendered kid because I took the move where I constantly change my look and everything else about me. So like they just always look different. They have scrounge wear, which I'm imagining is a lot of like just random like big pieces of fabric wrapped around. So I kind of have this like because it's so hot out and so cold out, so I'm just like totally covered up and you can see my eyes. I just have like big shawls, old towels, etc. wrapped around me, so I'm kind of obscured under all this cloth and material. A misshapen face, wrong eyes, and a child's body. So I'm imagining their face is kind of like lopsided and has grown bigger on one side, so like one of their eyes is bigger than the other. And their colors don't match, and like everything's kind of always in flux, and so it doesn't always work even out correctly. It's like they have like half their body in adolescence and half their body not, but split in weird ways. Stuff like that. And
How long have you been living in my junkyard?
I mean, I'm thinking they're around like 12 years old, between 12 and 14. And they've probably been living with you for like half of that time. Like they kind of showed up at some point, and got brought into the household, and were doing something else before that, but you don't know what. And so, yeah, my moves are mercurial, which is whenever I want, change any or all of my looks. People can, let me see here. There's an extra thing. Those who know you can still recognize you, but only if they look closely. And then I
always
have
looking
feral,
closely.
which is at the beginning of the session, I can choose to spend 0 barter for the equivalent of a 1 barter lifestyle. I can survive happily on whatever I can find. And so, yeah, Oler is always like out and about, like picking up random stuff, and like my special move, instead of having a like sex-oriented special move, I have a move where I just I can eat anything basically. In addition to food, I eat bizarre things: metal, people, plastic, mines, electricity, art. At the end of the session, if I've eaten something from this list that belongs or belonged to another player, you know them better, and I get additional hits with them. So, bit of a weird kid.
To say the least. To say the least.
I have
You
a
always
den.
find the strangest things for me. I really appreciate it, Ola.
Yeah, I have a den, which I'm imagining as being like under some pile of stuff, of like scrap metal and cars and whatnot in this junkyard. And my den includes a pipe that drips clean water into a polished basin, hundreds of dead smartphones cemented as tiling into the walls. So there's just like this little wall of smartphones all
Mm-hmm.
packed together, and a way into a terrifying place of death where countless skeletons lie. This is also a feature of my den. And these are all chosen from the list.
Just somewhere in a pile in the junkyard.
Yeah, there's like a tunnel. I'm picturing it's like an old subway station or something like that, where they like evacuated a bunch of people to, and then they all just like died crowded in this tiny space underground. And so it's just like full of bodies in various states of decay, which I'll leave you to like, you can add more or less to that if you want. And finally, I am, let's see, what is the description here? The Maelstrom's wolves are hunting you. Under their disguises, they look like, and then there are a bunch of looks I can choose for them, and then some qualifying to that. So under their disguises, they look like birds. So like crows, pigeons, sparrows, other like small urban birds. But they make terrible grinding noises. And I think we'll go with they're dripping gore as well.
Nice. Man, I'm getting hungry.
The fuck is wrong with you?
Tell the MC the above and that they're perversions of birth. She'll know what you mean.
And I do.
So it's ominous.
So these wolves, and this is the first time I've ever worked with a child thing in a game. Are these things that you've encountered before, or do you just like somehow know they're looking for you?
I think Oler knows about them. And yeah, like maybe like I don't know how other people engage with them or whatever, but I can see them and I'm aware of them, and they make these horrifying grinding noises.
Mm-hmm.
And I always see them, these birds dripping with gore.
And do you have any like reasoning for why they're looking for you? Or no idea.
It doesn't make sense to me. No.
Okay. Got it.
I feel like Granny has seen them, or
I've certainly told Granny about them. Yeah, like Grandma knows about these things for sure.
And I feel like maybe I haven't seen them directly, but like I've heard their horrible grinding noises or seen piles of gore that they've left behind.
But also you are in a junkyard and like horrible grinding noises.
Right?
Sometimes you make horrible grinding noises when you're working on something.
Those are good grinding noises. These are bad grinding noises.
Oh.
If you've worked with these grinding noises for 40 years like I have, you would know the difference.
You know the good grind from the bad grind. Look, Grandma Gucci knows how to grind, certainly.
Oh, certainly now I'm thinking of the Bellsprout vine, and it's all a mess. It's all a mess.
Stay with us, Trist.
The memes are coming. Okay.
So that's my character.
It's lovely.
Oh, sorry, and my stats. I'm cool 0, hard -1, hot 1, sharp 1, weird 2.
Lovely, lovely, lovely. Do you
Actually, I'm gonna change that right now. I'm cool +1, hard +1, hot -1, sharp 0, weird 2.
Okay.
Last time I'll change my mind. I promise.
It's canon now. Do you remember at all anything from before you came to Granny Gucci's junkyard?
I think that's where I have the most vivid memory of the things that are hunting me, is from like right before, where I was like actively being chased by them in this very overt way. And then they've kind of like been a bit more low key since then, but you know.
Do they have names, or are they just gore birds?
I mean, there are a bunch of them. There's like an indefinite quantity of them. And yeah, I don't know if I like recognize specific ones necessarily. I might have names for them. In fact, you know what? I think it's way more interesting if there are like a couple that I recognize specifically, and then there are like some other birds. And I have like some names for them, which I'll come up with.
Okay, a couple have names. Excellent. I am excited, and I am naming your doorway into the subway. I'm calling it the Skelly Hell.
The Skelly Hell. Great.
It's the Skelly
I
Hell.
have 1 barter worth of crap that I've scrounged up. The book's words, not mine. I have a cutting edge and a chopper. That's all my gear.
A chopper being a motorcycle? Question mark?
No, being a 2-harm hand messy weapon.
Oh,
So
you
it's
have a
like
cutting edge and a
small
chopper.
machete, and then I have like a little shiv or something that I keep in my boot.
Gotcha. I was like,
Um,
wait, that's a playbook. Why do you have that?
and I have 1 armor under all my stuff in there
Lovely.
somewhere. Some random like metal plates or old library books as a knife jacket, that kind of stuff.
So, does anybody know that your den has clean water in it?
Hell no.
It's a secret.
That's a
I
secret.
don't think even I know that because, yeah, I don't think even I know that.
But the dead giveaway is that my face is always clean.
Mm.
Mm.
I mean, we can hardly see your face under all of those.
I keep it well covered, but yeah, if you look closely, it's just like, oh, their face is always clean. It's weird.
Nice. I think that's all I need right now. Your smartphones that are tiling your place, they're dead.
I mean,
You think
I'm
they're
definitely
dead?
going to get some magical visions in there, let me tell you.
I'm
But
thinking so too.
yeah,
Thinking somehow, sometimes they connect to something larger. Okay. Fantastic. Who wants to go next?
I can try.
I believe in you, Britt.
Okay. Just walk me through it, okay? And I'll give you the answers. Is that okay? Just help me out here.
All
just
right,
hold my
all right.
hand. Hold my hand.
I'm
I'll
not
help
holding your beer, but I'll hold your hand.
That's all right.
Okay, let's start with the basics. What's your character's
Yep.
name?
My character's name is Rill. Rill. Rill.
Okay. What is are they man, woman, ambiguous, transgressing, concealed?
Woman.
Woman. And what is
Yes.
their look?
Tatter. I guess, well, scrounge is just like what you find, I guess. So, scrounge, she's wearing like, she found like a mechanic's jumpsuit that she like wears the pants all the time, but she takes the top part off and she has like a shitty hole-filled t-shirt underneath, like for during the day. So when it's hot, she just ties the sleeves around her waist, and then when it gets cold at night, she puts the whole mechanic suit back on to stay warm. And it's made out of like denim, light washed denim.
Trashy.
And she wears some just some like sneakers, like Chucks that she found that are falling apart. And do I go through this whole thing? So she has an innocent face and burning eyes and a bony body. Yeah.
Nice. Okay, the next thing that we need to know is, I believe, moves. What are your moves? What did you choose?
So I get all the basic moves. I get fortunes, and then I get the 2 focus moves, which let me go up to those and read them. So I think I'm gonna go with, so my options are frenzy, charismatic, fucking whacknut, seeing souls, and divine protection. I think I'm gonna go with frenzy and fucking whacknut.
This world's gonna burn down.
Maybe.
Pretty accurate, not even gonna lie. So frenzy being when you speak the truth to a mob, roll plus weird. On a 10 plus, hold 3, 7 to 9, hold 1. And you can spend your hold 1 for 1 to make the mob bring people forward and deliver them. Bring forward all their precious things. Unite and fight for you as a gang. Fall into an orgy of uninhibited emotion, fucking, lamenting, fighting, sharing, celebrating as you choose. Or go quietly back to their lives. On a miss, the mob turns on you. Bah, bah, bah. All right. Let's talk about fortunes and your cult. What choices do you make for the cult?
So the cult, let me go to that part. Okay, right here, followers. So my cult is, I characterize them as my scene. And it's like, it says travel with you or congregate in their own communities. We kind of congregate in one community together. And then my follow, let's see, choose 2. So I'm gonna choose joyous and celebratory. And also rigorous, joyous and celebratory. And then another one, it says your followers taken as a body constitute a powerful psychic antenna. I want that one.
So the surpluses you've chosen are plus party and plus augury.
Yes.
Gotcha. And then what about the wants?
And then the next 2, they are, they're decadent and perverse. And they're also drug fixated, probably, with all the drugs in our community.
All right, so they have a want plus savagery and a surplus plus stupor. So when times are good, they're partying, they're high as shit, and are maybe providing visions for you.
Yeah, that sounds good.
When times are bad, they're just savage AF. That's when shit starts getting wrecked.
Mm-hmm.
And they start tearing things apart.
That's when people's hands get chopped off over trivial disputes.
Mm-hmm. And it's like, booty, please.
She can fix it.
It's fine. At least at the outset, that sounds like what the arrangement there is. All right. Let's talk about your gear, which is very scant.
I have no gear. Yeah. In addition to your followers detailing your fashion according to your look, which I've already done, you have oddments worth 4 barter, but no gear to speak of.
Yeah. But you don't need weapons. You have followers.
Or
have my scene.
You have 4 barter with which to buy some kind of high-tech assault shotgun. And become the queen of the desert.
Yeah, I might do some shopping later with that.
I'm gonna go to the mall. Never gonna fucking destroy it, but I'll come out at the end with a gun. It's fine.
Yeah, it's all good. Yeah.
Okay, so we've got your moves, we've got your gear. Could you read your stat line for me?
Yes. So my stats are cool -1, hard +1, hot equals 0, sharp +1, weird +2.
Lovely. So you're not the best under fire, but you're hot, you're savvy, and you and the maelstrom, you talk, you chat.
They have a relationship.
Yeah, we have a thing.
Got a thing with the maelstrom.
Granny Gucci has a thing with the maelstrom, but we'll get to that later.
Make sure you take the pluses out of it because it'll
fuck
the macros.
I got it.
And make sure you dump your moves, copy paste your moves into
the
sheet at your leisure. So we know that, or at least are any. Well, that's part of the hex. But do you have any followers that are stand out? Anybody that's been around for a while? Anybody that you?
I mean, beside the angel.
Besides the angel, yes.
I don't.
You care about any of them? Do you know their names?
I generally care about them as human beings who I deeply care that they enjoy all their time. So if people like mess that up, it matters to me. But I think I mostly remember the negative things who had to
Oh, you
die.
remember the fuck ups.
Yeah, I don't remember a lot of the good things. My brain focuses on the people who are causing trouble. So as long as everyone's good, they're kind of just bodies that are fulfilling what I believe is the correct, philosophical course for
I'm
this
seeing a situation where maybe people themselves don't even really refer to each other as individuals. Like you're all like, we're all part of the collective, man. And then like being singled out and like branded with a name is like you fucked up. Like that's how you know you're on your way to Central Park and like being staked out for the like
or
2 years.
it's okay to have a name, but people don't really use their names that much. So like if your name starts being used
You're drawing too much
like
attention.
you're drawing negative attention. Like if your name's not really being used, then that's a good sign. But if people are using your name a lot, then there's some negative shit going on. You should probably prepare yourself for a departure.
Interesting. Okay, so we'll talk about your relationship with the angel when we do hacks. Is there anything else that we need to know about Rill?
I think so.
I think
I don't know. Is there anything else I need to?
I think we're good. Does your cult have like a name? Are they the blank cult, or are you just like that group of weirdos in the subdivision? Like, what do people call you?
What do other people call us? Yeah,
Yeah.
so I was gonna say I don't think I would think of a name for our cult. I think that's a better question for Kelsa because she is outside of the cult. So I guess like what would we be called? I'll leave that up to her.
Oh man, now you gotta put me on the spot and think of names. That's the worst. I hate names. Let's see.
We are the nihilists, Mr. Lebowski.
Yeah, that's a little too on the nose.
Oh, yeah, no, I just like making references to Lebowski.
It is the best movie.
Fair.
It's really good.
Pretty good movie.
Fast and the Furious.
Oh my god, your cult is the Fast and the Furious.
That fits. I love it. Yeah. It's too good.
It's a reference that nobody knows, but somebody saw it somewhere,
No,
and they're like,
they are fast and they are furious. Like, they are though, right? It's perfect.
I'm totally down with this being a thing.
Okay.
Because I'm amused by it, and everybody knows that's the most important thing when it comes to role playing with Trist.
Yeah.
We're just here to entertain you.
I mean, the audience is like lucky to be witness to my amusement. Let's be real. Let's be real.
No, Britt's gonna be real. You're gonna be the MC.
How many times do we get to make that joke?
Once, and I've used up mine.
All right.
With me, I don't really care because I'm a nihilist, so I don't use that name for my group. That seems correct.
You don't use any name for the group. They're like your people.
Yeah.
It's just the party.
It's just the scene,
The
man.
party. Oh
It's
man.
just the scene.
They're just bodies fulfilling my philosophical
Can you do me a huge favor and spell your character's name again, or maybe change it in the Roll20? So
OLER.
Thank you.
All right, and then last but not least, Booty.
Okay, so I am Booty. I don't know how old I am, and I kind of don't care. I have a lively face and cold, dead eyes, and a pretty spare body. Kind of lost and totally fucked up. Torn between wanting to help people and abandon all hope and let loose completely and just like be part of the Fast and Furious and just like do destruction to all the things. My workshop is in an abandoned strip mall, which is actually like we actually made shop in the candy shop because don't really know much about pharmacies anyway, and like I don't know, they really seem to be into candy and shit, so I just like supply lots of candy and sugar and drugs. And my two friends who help me out in the workshop are Bob and Barker. And I mostly learned about the medical world from watching old like medical dramas that I found randomly like strewn amongst the wasteland. So like periodically I'll spout stuff from like Star Trek or House.
So do you have a screen where you watch these things?
Yeah, like I have a screen in the candy shop that was like littered with random shit like that I found amongst them all. A spoonful of sugar does help the medicine go down. It's true. So like I'm just gonna say random shit like that a lot, and they're like, "Damn it, man! I'm a doctor." A lot of that.
Because you think it's like part of the job, like you have to do that while you're fixing people. This is like a thing to say.
Yeah, like I only understand the performance of doctoring. Like I don't really know what else. So we've already talked a bit about my gear. So I have an angel kit, which I wear in a fanny pack because like I have that like scrounge wear thing going on. So I have a fanny pack with my angel kit in it. My small practical weapon is what's it called? It's the big knife. I've personified it. Its name is Mr. Wiggles. And Mr. Wiggles and I are pretty close. We do everything together. What else was I gonna say? Oh, right. And then my fashion suitable to my look is the dino onesie that I found also in the strip mall, which I can like basically wear up or down depending on how hot it is or cold it is outside. And so I basically, and I have like a little doctor's name tag just like on the side. It's just like Dr. Booty. And it's pretty good. Yeah, that's all I got so far.
All right. I'm like envisioning this like almost like Willy Wonka, but like horror version of Willy Wonka that gives you
Yes.
drugs and candy and maybe cuts you sometime, but for your own good.
Yeah, totally.
Yes. It's fucking
Yes.
scary. It's like actually legit terrifying. Like people like you don't want to go to Booty. If you're in a situation where you need to go to Booty, like fuck.
But it's confusing because I do sometimes also help. It's just that I'm also kind of insane.
And
Yeah.
I mean, you get your finger amputated because it's going gangrenous, but then you get a lollipop. So
Yeah.
you
You're
feel
great.
good.
And since, I mean, I'm assuming that since like we've all lived within the time of the apocalypse, we just don't understand death rates are like abnormally high. Like we just think that most people die like eating candy, and that's just how they go.
It's like, well, if we don't take you to Booty, you're definitely gonna die.
We take
But
you
if
to
we
her, like
do-
you might not.
Yeah.
You get like a 50-50, which is way
Yeah.
better odds.
Okay, yeah, I like that.
Lovely. So for your moves, what do you have?
So my two moves are Sixth Sense. So when I open my brain to the world's psychic maelstrom, I roll plus sharp instead of plus weird. And I have Infirmary, which is that I get an infirmary, a workspace with life support, a drug lab, and a crew of two, Bob and Barker, and get patients into it. And I can work on them like a savvy head on tech, or like Willy Wonka on children.
That's super fucking scary.
It's like
Oh, that's beautiful. I love it.
Holy shit. Like all I can think is the emote wet face. Like I don't want to go see Booty ever. Where did you find
That's
Bob
so
and Barker?
cool. Sorry?
Where'd you find Bob and Barker?
I don't know. They kind of just like were part of the cult, and then I just like stole them. I used
Mm.
candy. Candy is the ultimate bribery. Like, they were probably kind of young when I stole them. And I was just like, hey, you want some candy? And they were like, yeah. And I was for real about it. Like, unlimited candy.
Yikes. All right.
Are they super chubby now? Because they
Uh,
live on candy all the time.
No, because I'm still pretty dead on the inside, right? So I'm pretty like calculated about it, and I make sure that like they get enough that they stay, but not
It's
enough.
not healthy for them to eat too much candy.
Yeah, gotta keep them in that gray zone.
Is that candy like laced with something? Are they secretly addicts?
Sometimes, but I kind of also just love that like it's just candy. Also,
It's almost enough that it's just candy.
yeah.
I mean,
Real fuck
you don't
it up.
We're
get
in the
flavors like
apocalypse,
that in
man.
the apocalypse. That's true. That's true. You can
Candy
have
makes
them.
you feel like you're eating food and like tricks your body into thinking it's fed itself, but you really haven't, and you get all fucked up if that's all you
Yeah.
eat. So candy
And,
could
like-
actually be real dangerous in the apocalypse.
And like sugar is actually actively harmful, like in for realsies. So it's like
And is literally addictive also.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
So like when they smile, do they just have like these blackened, like gross? There's
Oh,
no
God.
dentist teeth.
Oh my god.
Answer is yes. Naja asked a question, but it wasn't. It was a rhetorical
Yeah,
question.
that was not.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm imagining Bob being like this kindly face, but then when he smiles, you're like, oh God, I see you've been hanging out with Booty.
I also
Yeah,
just
and are
like,
they-
always have multicolored tongues too from all the like lollipops and stuff.
What are their genders? Your two friends.
One of them is ambiguous, and the other is a. I don't know. I like them both ambiguous. Actually, I like ambiguous.
Mm. Oh my God, they're like Oompa Loompas. They're like post-apocalyptic Oompa Loompas, and you're Willy Wonka, and you have this shop of horrors, which is the only medical assistance anybody can get anywhere.
Is
I
it
did
that they
not
both
foresee-
have this like unreadable kind of pear shape to their body, where it's like it doesn't really give any clear indication of gender, and their faces are kind of round and smooth, and
I
they
honestly
have
did
these like
not
horrible
foresee
black
this
teeth.
direction. Did not foresee this direction, but I'm happy that we got here.
This is excellent.
That is
Like,
that is
scary.
role playing at its finest. Is I did not foresee this direction, but I'm happy that we got there.
A Booty is terrifying.
Sorry.
No, that's
Can we do
perfect.
hex now?
It's perfect. Yeah, so now that we know a bit about the characters, let's talk about Hex. Hex is a measure of like how well you know a character, more or less. The max is +3, the minimum is -3, and I think if you go over 3, it rolls over to 0, and you mark a point of experience.
It rolls over to +1.
Oh, it rolls over to +1, and
You
you
go
mark a
from
point.
+3 to +1.
Can you roll over from -3, or you just?
Yes. Doesn't come up much. And if you go from -3, you go to -1.
Do you also get experience?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Andrew.
It's kind of
So
an old school thing that doesn't happen as much in the new edition, but it could happen.
I don't know, like Booty is scary. Like if I were in the apocalypse, I would have like -1 billion. I'd be like, oh, we're gonna take you to Booty. I'd be like, no, I would literally rather die. Just leave me here.
I'm cool. Listen, I'll just give you some candy and we can chill. You know?
It's terrifying. It's terrifying. Sorry. Let me take myself out of this. So Hex. Each of you have different rules for how you attribute Hex. In the Hex section on your Roll20 sheet, you want to write down the names of every other character. And keep track of how much Hex you have with them. Some people also keep track of how much Hex. What's the reverse of that? How much Hex they have with you, because it's not symmetrical. So on each person's turn, they're going to go through their Hex rules, and they're going to tell you a number that you should mark down for them. You may have a special rule that modifies that number. Like a playbook says you fucking hate everybody. Subtract 1 from whatever number they tell you. And make sure you do that math. Okay.
Okay.
Well there. I don't think this game has a playbook that must go first, but it might. No.
No.
All right. So who wants to go first?
I want to go first because I feel like having just heard about Booty is a perfect
so
segue.
inspired. You've been so excited.
So yeah, I go to each character and I ask them, "Are you a wolf of the maelstrom?" So starting with Booty.
Yes.
Great. So you already know what you look like under your disguise. You look like a bird that makes terrible grinding noises, and you are always dripping gore from your beak. If you want to be a specific type of bird, I'll leave that to you, but I fucking knew you would be. Yeah, and so I write hex -2 for... Or no, sorry, you have -2 with me, I think is what it is.
Yeah. Cool.
Grandma Gucci,
Yes.
are you a wolf of the maelstrom?
No, I am
Excellent.
not.
Write hex -1. Or no, I think this is
No,
on my sheet,
I think
right?
you write these. Yeah.
Yeah.
the
So
one
sorry,
that
I have -2 with Booty. I have -1 with Grandma Gucci. Rill, are you a wolf of the maelstrom? And your answer doesn't have to be yes or no, by the way.
Yes.
Damn, it's a hard world. Okay.
I'm not surprised by these answers, but at the same time, dang.
Under your disguise, you look like a bird, and you make terrible grinding noises, and your beak is always dripping gore.
Ooh. Nice.
That's hex for me. I'm scared.
It's
I'm
just you and
scared
Granny
too.
Gucci.
Just come hang out. It's cool.
I mean, I do. I'm part of the cult.
Yeah.
Yikes. Who wants to go next?
I will.
All right.
So we kind of already talked about this, but like, which of you are my followers? So you two.
I'm a follower.
Yes. So Booty as well. Okay.
And I'm a follower too.
I don't follow you.
And one of you, I've seen your soul. Which one?
I mean, if you're a wolf of the maelstrom, you see the soul. Yeah.
And that is it.
All right. Who's next?
So, which of you is the most strange?
I mean, I'm a shape-shifting child being hunted by like weird extra-dimensional beings or something, and I live in a cave made out of junk in your junkyard.
So the great part is that for this, multiple characters could say yes. I definitely feel like that you are one of them. So I get +1.
I'm in the running for most strange.
I mean, Booty is also pretty strange. But,
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I'm so cool. I don't know what you're talking about.
I mean, if you don't think you're strange, then that's
You're like the
fine.
scariest dentist
I mean,
ever.
this is the thing, right? Is like it doesn't ask which is the most frightening or the creepiest.
Uh-uh.
Which is the weirdest.
Most weirdest. I think it's
Cool. Cool.
And then, which of you is the biggest potential problem?
Yeah. I feel like it's got to be
It's like a three-way tie.
Miss
mean-
Furious.
This one I can only only get one answer on this.
I mean, I'm just a wolf of the maelstrom who runs a cult that's fueled on drugs and distraction. I don't know.
Well, what could possibly go wrong?
Yeah, it sounds like it's you.
Okay.
And then I get -1 with Booty because she insists that she's not strange. So
I insist that I'm not.
and that's my hex.
I'm not weird at all. Have some candy.
Yeah. Laced with like, I don't know, meth.
Oh my God.
As
Sounds
you
like a
do.
fun time.
As you do.
Oh boy. All right, Booty. Round this off.
I'm so sorry.
No,
Okay.
you're playing this game perfectly so far. This is exactly what we want.
Oh, you know what? I forgot to do something. Oh, it says at the end, choose one of the characters with the highest hex on your sheet. Ask that player which of your stats is most interesting and highlight it. The MC will have you
Yeah.
highlight it.
We're gonna highlight all together later.
Oh, okay, cool.
If you're not. Booty, give me that hex.
Okay, so I get to choose 1, 2, or all 3. I'm gonna say actually that Granny Gucci put a hand in when it mattered and helped me save a life, and that player you get hex +2.
Do I get hex +2 or do you write it down?
It just says tell that player hex +2.
Oh, okay, sweet. So my hex is now +1.
And Rill has been beside me and seen everything that I've seen, so you also get hex +2. And I'm so sorry, Aller, but I figure that you're doomed to self-destruction, so you get hex -1. That's what I got.
All
But it
right.
also says, on others' turns, you try not to get too attached. Whatever number they tell me, give it a -1 and write it next to their character's name.
Yeah. So whatever numbers people told you,
Okay.
subtract 1 from it.
Okay.
So, one thing that has come up in chat and that I would like to know: wolves may not know that they're wolves. Are you both self-aware about that?
I feel like I'm not.
I'm not really sure. I kind of want to ask chat or like and people here. Do I know?
I mean, did you come by being what it is that you are? Honestly, like, how self-aware is Booty of the fact that like you're terrifying? Do you know it? Or are you in this like weird other world where it's like totally okay to be the like insidious candy drug lord / doctor with your indentured, drug-addled, tooth-rotted servants?
Strong and compelling.
Wait, are you looking at the second edition rules or the first edition rules? Because I'm looking at it for this, and you ask people that you don't just assign it, and you write it on your own character sheet and not on telling other people to write it down.
There's this for Booty, you're saying?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it should be the questions should determine what she writes down on her sheet as her relation with us. So if you think I'm the biggest problem, your hex with me is a negative number.
okay. I understand.
So you would have a +2.
Because if you're reading it where it says tell them to write something down, and the part where on other people's turn make a minus,
Mm-hmm.
that was the first edition rules.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, because hex changed in the new
Yeah.
edition.
Okay.
So,
But it's just a flipping of how the numbers.
Yes.
So it's just a matter of her writing them down. It's fine.
so if you modified a number based on what Beans told you, undo that.
I fixed it.
And make sure we're all gravy there. We're all gravy now. Okay, so we've done hex. Let's take a break, and then when we come back, we can highlight stats, talk about what highlighting even means, and then we can figure out where the fuck you guys are in this fucked up world and how you're going to begin to fuck it up even further. Because it's the apocalypse. As always, thank you to chat, and we will be back in a little bit, by which I mean like 5-ish minutes. See you soon.